This was a nice quick transition. We were back in the match right away. No dilly-dallying. Let's get to more action.
We should absolutely be taking a look at that. Nobody wants to see, as beautiful as your face is.
Thank you.
I'll look at it all day long, but I think what the users want to see is they want to see what's going on here. And here we see Team Red defending.
Early on, they're both trying to get to this one point. It's like a school ground, playground area. There's some ComSat stations, but they really do need to use the open space as much as possible because there is so much of it available.
Yeah, and
unlike the later stages where it gets much more narrow and you've got to, be careful with your placements and your movements.
Absolutely. And Alvin's team has a lot to prove here.
Yes.
They really, got rolled over by Blue. Although again, we've seen that Blue is probably the team to beat at
exactly.
this point. There's a lot to prove for the Red team, and I'm kind of rooting for them. Again, the underdog story. Chris is talking about the underdog and the Blue team. I don't know that a 4-ticket deficit is really going to be a big problem for a talented team.
Exactly.
Now it's interesting too because of course they took the first MCOM station fairly early on, and so as a result that disadvantage was null and void anyway.
Exactly, because when you're respawning, you're respawning at such a disadvantage or an advantage depending on which team you're on that it can really affect the way you move because you have to now re-strategize where you're going, how you're going.
But then, of course, when you move on to the next point in the map, that resets, and then you start with a fresh set of tickets again.
Exactly.
So they overcame the deficit really well. I don't think that anybody really believes they're the underdogs here, but as it is, we're looking at the these are the defenders. So these are this is the Red team. Or no, I'm sorry, this is the green team. Pardon. Yeah. I'm just not good with colors, Marco.
It's getting a little confusing now because everyone's switching up. Everyone's getting the opportunity to play on both sides, so it's going to be a little interesting. Because there is a definite strategy. You have to play the game differently depending on if you're an attacker or a defender. So now these guys, because neither of these two teams had played the opposite position, the opposite stance, now they've got to really see how it is, what they've got to do, and hopefully they're learning from this.
And it looks like we're down to 78 tickets here.
And that was pretty fast. It
was pretty fast.
They're dropping.
So Defender's doing a pretty good job. Green team fending off the Red team. We still haven't even gotten into the subway. And I don't even think that we've destroyed a station yet.
Not that I can tell. Yeah, they're both still available because you got it on the display.
Yep. So we've still got. With any luck for the green team anyway, they might, we might actually see the first match that doesn't even continue on to the
into the
second
subways.
leg.
Yeah.
So, which honestly, from my perspective, is great because for me, Battlefield is all about the open maps.
Yes.
So I like to see an area like this that's outdoors. It's great too because when Kevin was here, he was talking about snipers and balancing and possible advantages and disadvantages. And I think one thing that we see here that's great. Yes, of course, there's places for snipers to go prone, but there's also a lot of stuff to break up your line of sight. And there's also a lot of ways to change those things that break up your line of sight into an avenue for your bullet.
Yeah.
So a lot can change, and especially in a game type like this, where there are, where you do have to descend upon particular points in order to attack or to defend. So, not really. I don't see a real camping-heavy game when I look at Battlefield 3.
I agree. At least in this area where it is much open. I remembered early on this evening, the first practice match that we didn't even really broadcast. The team that won, it was Team White. They won the practice match. It didn't count for anything, but they took advantage of the close quarters, and they really dominated that match. And you get a little bit of both of that in this game. You've got the outside openness, anything can happen, and then when you're inside, there's only one entrance, but there actually is more than one entrance. Just that these kids are they're not used to the game yet, so they're not learning the tricks yet. And I think that's why now, as we're moving on, they're learning the secrets, they're learning where else they can go, and really opening it up.
And we do see the green team here. They're defending the position. They're doing an excellent job of being close together, but not populating the same immediate area, so that they're not prone to a grenade throw.
Exactly.
And they're defending all sides. So the red team is going to have a really hard time descending upon this place if they're not organized. And I don't think that they're their potential tactic of coming in with a bunch of rocket launchers is necessarily gonna be the way they're playing.
Well, in this outdoor environment, you're in a playground. You can't really use an RPG. That's later on when you've got the buildings and you need to get into the building through any means necessary. Then you want to use the RPG. But in this situation, you've got to try to get the enemy, your opposition, out so that you can get into there, but they're not doing that at all.
And now here's the red team here. And I hate to brag on the red team though, but whenever we move over and we see that, I think that there's just an issue with shooting.
It's not just the shooting. It is, again, this is a game about communication. You're a team, you have to work together. And I think downstairs, while I was down there, Team Red was just not talking to one another. They're too quiet. It's either they're shy, they're nervous. They're not taking advantage of they've got the microphones there, they've got headsets, they can communicate. And in this kind of game where you need to have a good balance of players with different, loadouts, they're just not getting that. And it's just, it's embarrassing, right now. We're still in the first phase of this map, and they're slowly dwindling away. Yes, they're still alive. They've got, they're in the 30s in the tickets, but it looks like it's going to be game over before it even really got anywhere.
Some good sniping, at least here, from a red player. He's definitely got his eyes out. He didn't notice the player, but he did see the muzzle flash. Definitely somebody who's paying attention, got some environmental awareness. Let's hope that they can use that kind of raw talent and put it together for some more teamwork. He seems to be paying attention. He knows where the fire's coming from. This is at least the proper kind of awareness you need on the battlefield. You just need to put that to good use.
Exactly.
And in a team-based game like this, even if you're not the best player, there's always room for you as long as you're part of things. As Kevin explained too, suppressive fire is a legitimate tactic. If you don't think that you're very good, there's actually room for somebody that sprays and prays. And there's actually reward for that. I don't think that that's, but I don't think that you're rewarding poor play when you do that. He's actually pointing out a legitimate tactic. If you want to lay suppressive fire, there's a way to do that. And I haven't seen anybody use the bipod since I've been looking today, and that might be worthwhile for somebody.
It might be just unfamiliarity right now with the game. It is a lot of these guys, it's their first time really playing this game. They don't get the comfort of, being at an event and trying this game beforehand. So they're still not used to everything. And that's why the first couple of games were a little bit confusing. It seemed confusing. That's why we gave everyone the opportunity to practice beforehand, because we knew people going in would not be that familiar with it. Especially now they're playing on PS3s. Maybe they've never played an FPS on a PS3, so again, they're learning. But a lot of these guys, like the blue team, they adjusted right away and they just are dominating. And I guess maybe red team are just not used to the control system. They're not used to the abilities and the weaponries that Battlefield 3 has to offer. It shows.
Well, we are looking at the green team here. The assaulting team is in trouble. There are 12 tickets left, and there is still an MCOM station to take.
Yeah.
I think that we may be seeing, now I don't want to get ahead of myself, but I think it's very possible we might see our first match today that ends without even moving into the subways.
It's looking that way as they're dropping now to 10 tickets
left. And, good job to the green team here. They seem to be really, have a great awareness of not only the battlefield, but of where each other is within that battlefield and understanding how to protect the station from all sides without getting bunched up.
See, what I'm really interested now in hearing is how are the next they're about to play white team again. What are both those teams going to play differently in the next match, if that is the next match? I don't want to get too much ahead of myself, but if those two teams are playing against each other next, which very much looks like it as we're down to 3 tickets left, it could very well be an interesting little rubber match. Am I right or am I wrong on that?
I think you are right, although I think that the winner from round 4 competes with the winner of round 3.
Well, the thing is, blue team has yet to lose a match, and there we go, game over.
And congratulations to the green team, the defending team. Great job out there. We saw them essentially, we didn't even move into the subways.
Nope.
That's great job for them. I'm sure that the red team isn't necessarily happy with their performance. Homer, let's check in with you. I don't know if you're there with Alvin or with somebody from the red team, but if you can, let's check in with the winners first, see how excited they are, and then check in with the losing team to see how they're feeling about things.
All right, here we are with Team Green handily. Look at that, 9 minutes 34 seconds for the match. would say that's a record.
Probably is. I knew Red had no chance, but we had much better communication than we had before. We really nailed down A, B. Whenever we saw them rushing, we had them down. It was pretty good. It was all these guys. It was all my team. If it wasn't for the good communication, we would have been screwed.
All right, Team Green kind of going through a different channel to the championship round. Hopefully, we'll see. You guys still got one more round to play. Team Green moving on. Congratulations. All right, well, let's get these stations turned over. Alvin. All right, man. That's the second loss, man. That means in a double elimination tournament, your second loss means you're done, man. What do you anything to say?
It's all in the team. It's all in the team. If you don't work as a team, you don't go nowhere.
Exactly.
So if we're not coordinated, there's nothing we can do.
All right. There is no I in team, right?
Right?
But there is me in team.
You do your best and hope for the rest.
All right, Alvin. Thanks for participating, man. Good luck. I'm sure after the tournament's over, we'll probably have a little bit more time to play, but stick around, watch the matches. Thanks for joining us. All right, so folks, we're gonna get this station turned over, and I think we got Team White coming in against who we got? Against Team Green? All right, you guys are saying we're gonna flip-flop attackers, defenders. Wait, you guys are on the attack now, right? Oh, you guys are defending. White's defending, and Green's attacking. We'll get it all worked out, and we'll get situated very soon. Let's hear. I want to get that. What did you say?
It doesn't matter who's defending or attacking, we're winning.
All right, I like that. I like the trash talk going around here in Battlefield 3 Alley. All right, we're going to toss it back up to the studio as they get all set. Marco, Kevin.